So Football Manager's been out for 4 months now, and maybe you're getting to the end of the save you started when Football Manager came out all the way back in November. You're thinking, I'd like to do a new save, but I don't know what type of save I would like. Well, here are 5 different FM22 save ideas for you to choose from. I'm not going to tell you what team to go with, but here are some ideas. Number 1. The first idea I have for you here is a lower league to Champions League save. Now, that's possibly the save you've just finished. A lot of people start with that. Maybe their home team, they try and improve them and get them to become Champions League winners. Well, if that's not something you've done, it could be a save that you could do. It's one of the more common types of saves. You basically, it's fairly self-explanatory, you will take over a lower league team and you'll try to take them to Champions League glory. This could be down in the national leagues in England. It could be down, League 2 in Scotland, the 3rd or 4th tier in Spain, Italy, wherever you're from. Normally you want to be, at least 3, 4, 5 divisions below the top tier if you can get that, and see if you can build that team up. It's normally a fairly long-term save unless you're a very, very outstanding Football Manager player. Now, not only do you build up a team with this sort of save, you try to build a club, improving the facilities, getting state-of-the-art youth recruitment and facilities in there as well, and keeping an eye on the finances as well. You can't just go about spending lots of money if you're not bringing it in. And you never know. Maybe by the time you have finally won that Champions League, your team will be playing in a stadium that's named after you. Number 2. Here's idea number 2. How about a Glory Hunter? If you've not checked out already on the channel, we're doing a Glory Hunter this year. It's a great challenge to take part on. I'm sure people did it before, or maybe a very similar sort of challenge, but Dr. Benji came up 2 or 3 years ago with the idea of a Glory Hunter challenge. Basically, you're going around the 5 major European leagues, that being England, Germany, France, Spain, and Italy, and you're trying to win those top tier titles in those 5 countries. So you're looking for the English Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, the Bundesliga, and Ligue 1. And you're also trying to win the 5 major cup competitions in those countries as well. The FA Cup, the Coppa del Rey, the Coppa Italia, the Pokal, and the Coupe de France as well. As if that's not hard enough, winning 10 trophies in 5 different countries, you're also trying to win the Champions League and the Europa League, and if you want to do what I've been doing, you try and win the Conference League as well. And as if that's not hard enough, you're trying to win the World Cup as an international manager, as well as the European Championships also. 14 or 15 trophies in there. That is pretty tricky. And one more thing, you have a 20-year time limit. One of the only challenges we really have in Football Manager that has a hard time limit on it. Now, obviously, you can make it easier by making it 25 or 30 or 35 years as your time limit. But if you make that 20 years, you're almost trying to win a competition every single year. You really do have to be a Glory Hunter if you want to win this Glory Hunter challenge. It's pretty tricky. We're currently going through it just now on the channel. We'll see how we get on. Maybe something you could do for yourselves at home. And 20 years is how long it's going to take. So save idea number 2. A Glory Hunter challenge. Join me and see how you get on. Number 3. Now, save idea number 3 is one of the first saves I ever did in Football Manager all the way back in the day, nearly 10 years ago when I started playing Football Manager, and it's a Pentagon challenge. If you've not heard of a Pentagon challenge, you're going to hear about it now. You'll start out with nothing at all, okay? And players must reach the peak, the pinnacle of club football in all 5 continents you can play in the base game of Football Manager by winning each of the 5 continental club competitions, basically the 5 Champions Leagues across the 5 continents. So the North American Champions League, South America's Copa Libertadores, the UEFA Champions League, the African Champions League, and the Asian Champions League as well. I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but the Champions Leagues across the 5 playable continents. You'll have to, go all around the globe managing teams you might not have thought about managing before, and certainly managing in leagues that you wouldn't have thought about managing in before. It's a very, very unique challenge, and it has its own kind of difficulties that you maybe wouldn't have expected. And a part of that is because you'll typically start the challenge unemployed and with no coaching badges and having only played Sunday League football. So it's basically like any Joe Blogs from the street going about asking for a managerial job. in a country that you don't know much about. It's very, very interesting indeed. And it's a great way to learn about the different styles of football and all the different types of football being played in countries that normally you wouldn't even think about going to. Have you ever thought about managing, in South Africa, or managing in Canada, or managing in Japan, or China, anything like, or Indonesia? These places I would never consider managing, but because of the Pentagon challenge, it's somewhere I have managed in the past, and maybe we'll do that in the future. Typically, you will go to somewhere like in Africa or in Asia to start your managerial journey, because it'll be easier to win those Champions Leagues in those continents. Typically, you'd imagine it's easier than the Americas or in Europe. Try and build up your reputation there and then start getting better jobs throughout the rest of the globe. But yeah, it's a very interesting challenge, one that's pretty difficult, and again, normally a fairly long-term save. It's one you don't have to play as one team though. You can move about, obviously, even within the same continent. You get a job in the third tier in China or something like that, and someone in the first tier in Japan offers you, yeah, go there, definitely. And work your way up and try and win those 5 continents Champions Leagues. A tough challenge, but one you could probably get if you put your mind to it. Number 4. Save idea number 4 is a homegrown challenge. Now, it's up to you how you want to describe or how you want to determine as homegrown. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. One of the best examples of a homegrown challenge is Athletic Bilbao, who are, they only allow people from the Basque region to play for their club, which makes it pretty difficult in terms of transfers to try and bring those players in. Now, you don't have to be at a club that literally only allows that. You can bring that sort of boundary, that sort of difficult recruitment challenge to any club you want. Celtic's Lisbon Lions, who lifted the 67 Champions League, all of their players in that squad were from within 25-30 miles of Celtic Park. They're very, very close to Glasgow. But it can be applied to any club as well. Just pick a team and pick a region that you want players to be from. So it could be from that town, and you can see when players come through that they're been born in the town or city that you live in. You can choose the country. You can choose, maybe if you're in Spain and Portugal or something along those lines. Or, it could be the Balkan states, or it could be Scandinavia as the only people you're allowed to have in your team. Something like that. It could be very, very interesting. Or it could be something really as tight as the city that you're in, or something like that. It could be a very, very interesting save, and it's giving yourself a challenge that's not normally there. Imagine playing in the Premier League in England, and you're playing for a team in London, and you can only have people from London playing in that team. That could be pretty difficult, and it really adds to the challenge. If you think you're amazing at Football Manager, add this difficulty to your save and see how amazing you really are trying this homegrown challenge. Every player in your squad has to be born within that predefined region that you're talking about. It could be very, very difficult, but I tell you, it'll be very rewarding if you manage to somehow do it. Number 5. And save idea number 5 for Football Manager 22 is probably one of the most popular saves in Football Manager ever. It's a journeyman save. That's one that a lot of people do. And a journeyman, you'll need to load as many leagues as possible, as many as your computer can handle, basically, and then add a couple of more in, and you'll start unemployed with the lowest managerial stats. So again, no coaching badges and Sunday League footballer experience, similar to the way you had to start for your Pentagon challenge. It's really great for people who think they're brilliant at the game. It's very easy to pick a team like Man United, Man City, Liverpool, PSG, Real Madrid, and just be amazing at Football Manager. But try this, where you have to pick just any team that will take you, and somehow jump about all the different teams and work your way to be a successful manager. You've got to be a success in as many teams as you can, working your way up the footballing pyramid, and see how many teams, maybe how many you can get to win the same league in a country. Can you get 20 different teams to have won the Premier League with you at their helm within a 20-year period? That'd be a pretty tricky challenge. I'm not sure that's possible. But at Journeyman, you can make your way through different leagues, and you can see different places that has to offer. It doesn't have the same sort of real final challenge like a Pentagon challenge has, where you know you want to try and get those 5 Champions Leagues. You're not forced to stay in a continent to try and win the Champions League. But basically, it's like the life of an actual manager, a journeyman. You go somewhere, you sign a contract, maybe you get poached by someone else, maybe you choose to leave. It's like being a real football manager. Really, that's what the whole point of Football Manager is. It's a simulation of being a football manager, and a journeyman save is probably the best example of being a football manager. So you start unemployed with no badges and only Sunday League experience. You'll take that first job that gets offered to you or you apply for, and then you just stay with that team until someone offers to take you on, and you move to there and you move about and you accept job offers, seeing where they come from. It's a very, very exciting challenge. It's a good, fun one. It won't get too stale because you'll move on. Once you think you've been there too long, you move on somewhere else. It's not a sort of thing where you have that lower league to Champions League sort of idea where you're trying to build up a whole club. You're just trying to be successful for the limited time you're there and then move on and be successful somewhere else. So those are my 5 ideas for you for really your second save in Football Manager 22 this year. I know you've all started one already, but you're maybe getting to the end of it and you're thinking, what will I do now? Well, hopefully one of those 5 ideas that I've spoken to you about back further in this video, hopefully one of those catches your eye and you want to do that. Let me know down in the comments below any other save ideas that you think that you might want to do, or some ideas for other people to try. And also let me know, if you are going to start one of these saves, who are you going to start with? Let me know. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please do leave a like on the video. It really does help us out. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything that's coming out for Football Manager 22. We have a Glory Hunter save and we have a few videos for you to watch coming out this week. So keep an eye on the channel. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. And leave a like if you have enjoyed this one. As I say, and until the next one, we'll see you then.